On behalf of APALA, as National Secretary, I call to order APALA's 16th Biennial Convention, rooted in legacy, reimagining a new world beyond borders and oceans. We are so excited to connect with all of you. My name is Tracy Lee, and I am a rank and file AFT Community College instructor with Seattle APALA chapter. I'm so proud of how APALA members showed up this past year. Many of our union members had trouble filing for unemployment due to language and technology barriers. Others couldn't access it because of citizenship status. Seattle chapter staff organizer Amy Long helped set up a Unite Here Local 8 hotline for laid-off hotel workers and provided one-on-one support, resulting in nearly $500,000 in unemployment benefits. Together, we are doing amazing work, and I look forward to building unity and power with all of you through these next 3 days. I'll now pass the mic to my fellow officer, Michael Yee, in New York City.
Thank you, Tracy. Hi, everyone. This is Michael Yee. I'm the second vice president of APALA, and I am an IBW Local Union Number 3 member calling in from the New York chapter. Like Tracy, I remember those days well. Racial capitalism made this pandemic even more deadly for people of color. The murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many other Black people at the hands of the police is another grim reminder that the pandemic is not the only thing so many of our communities are trying to survive. As coverage of anti-Asian violence grew, it was clear the media was interested in making it seem like it was Black people who were disproportionately attacking Asians. I've even had to make a point to push back on folks in my life who believed that. The APALA board felt that it was urgent to pass a resolution in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. As with every convention, I look forward to taking collective action with you. This year, with our convention being virtual, allowing us to connect with our siblings across the world, we are taking this opportunity to commit to a global solidarity action. See you tomorrow at the action. I am now going to pass this along to my brother, Kim Joran, all the way in Alameda County, California.
Thank you, Michael. I'm Kim Joran, president of the Alameda chapter in California and first vice president of APALA. I had to live away from my family during the pandemic for what I thought would be a month or two. Fast forward 15 months, and I finally got to see my grandson recently, who is now more than 3 years old. In those 15 months, I knew we had to organize with the Alameda chapter to support the workers that were going through so much more than myself. We stood side by side with healthcare essential workers such as Rexy Dizone from SEIU UHW when their employer at Alameda Hospital refused to provide them adequate PPE. Echoing Tracy and Michael, I feel honored to have been part of these efforts during this time of crisis. When anti-Asian violence came to the forefront, and elders in our communities expressed being afraid to leave their homes to access essential services, we supported efforts to organize multiracial support networks for our elders and others in the Oakland Chinatown community area. We work with many community partners, some of whom have joined us today to host rallies against anti-Asian hate and to build solidarity with Black and other oppressed communities. Last fall, we worked with Oakland's Anti-Police Terror Project. We have also been working with the Angelo Quinto family to end justice. Our communities are finding healing and support because of the strong working relationships we have built together. We met so many wonderful new people this past year, and we are excited to continue to work and build with them. I hope this convention is another opportunity for you all to build stronger relationships with one another. And I hope to see you during the virtual happy hours during our breaks. I'm now going to pass the mic to my fellow officer, Jillian Munden, all the way in Washington, D.C.
Thanks, Kim. Hi, everyone. My name is Jillian Munden. I'm the APALA treasurer and co-chair of the APALA DC chapter and a member of AFSME. Like Kim, I'm also excited to connect with you, and I love to keep learning from and working with you to strategize what's next. This past year, while I was able to work remotely, thousands of members my union represents were essential workers who had to show up day in and day out to provide for the communities that we serve. While the rest of us stayed in to stay safe, they were out there risking it all because they are committed to the work that they do and the communities still needed them. but I come from AFSME, and I organize with APALA. I know it's not just up to me, and that power comes from taking action together. And because we kept organizing and fighting, not only did we increase union membership in the public sector, we fought for a fair shake for all essential workers and working families to pass crucial federal stimulus legislation. We need to continue funding frontline workers and everyday people because the pandemic isn't over. And our communities are long overdue for real and equitable economic recovery. I'm here, and I'm ready to dream big with all of you. And now it's my honor to turn it over to President Monica Thammarath for a warm welcome to the 2021 convention.
Thank you, Sister Jillian and my fellow officers for helping me usher in APALA's 16th Biennial Convention. Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Tamarath, and I am the president of the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance and a proud appointee of the National Education Association. This year's convention theme, Rooted in Legacy, Reimagining a New World Beyond Borders and Across Oceans, encapsulates what we all are called to do in this moment. Root ourselves in the legacy of AAPI workers. We come from a lineage of dedicated peace workers who oppose war because of how U.S. imperialism has devastated our homes. This year is the 76th anniversary of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And let's not forget that the U.S. invaded the Marshall Islands and the homes of our other Pacific Islander siblings to test nuclear weapons. As a child of refugees from Laos, this one hits close. It's been less than a generation since the American war fractured Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. Our fights have always been about racial discrimination and displacement from our lands. I am proud that APALA's work is rooted in anti-racism and fighting for Indigenous sovereignty and land. It is a particularly special year to root our legacy at APALA, as many of our founding members are retiring and transitioning off the National Executive Board. I want to give a special shout out to Alex Hing from Unite Here, Louisa Blue from SEIU, and Marianne Autai from UESF and the San Francisco chapter. I am grateful to announce that I will not be returning for APALA as national president this year. I'm ready to pass the baton and go back to chapter work. Together, we are building the skills to create the world we desire and deserve to live in. This convention is also about reimagining a new world beyond borders and across oceans. In the last year, the APALA board and members have worked hard to develop a new vision statement. Our new vision statement is, APALA envisions a society where economic and racial justice prevails, human rights and worker dignity are affirmed, and where a healthy, sustainable planet is able to offer a better life for Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, Black, Brown, and Indigenous folks in all communities fighting oppression. Along with that, we launched 7 principles for collective liberation and organizing stronger communities called Have You Eaten Yet? Many people in our communities show care by offering food and asking if you have eaten yet. If you came over to my mom's or my grandma's house, they would ask you, Kin khao la? Stay tuned over the next 3 days because we are excited to share short videos featuring APALA leaders who will walk you through each principle. While we can't be in person this year, we hope this convention can still be a time of reflection, of dreaming, strategizing, and celebrating our leaders and our work. We know the virtual format is difficult, but we have a whole team to support you. On behalf of the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, AFL-CIO, and the Institute for Asian Pacific American Leadership and Advancement, I hereby call APALA's 16th Biennial Convention to order.